Hi everyone, I'm Richard Winstone with Over 50s Money, and welcome to the first video edition of my Financially Fat blog. It's the 16th entry. It's been about 8 months since my last post. It's been a while, but I'm trying to get back on it this spring. For those of you that are being introduced to this blog for the first time through like my YouTube subscriptions or something, I started this blog last year, and effectively, if financial fitness is the goal, then I'm financially fat. So it's a blog about how I'm poor with my finances, how I was in a bad financial position, and I'm working to get out of it. So every edition I'll be talking about the changes I've made to my finances to try and improve my financial position. But more importantly, I try to be as open as I possibly can. If you think I'm hiding something, if you think there's something that you want to know that is not in the blogs, email me and I'll put it in the next blog. I'm trying to be as open as I can because money is often a taboo subject amongst our generation, amongst everybody really, and I think it would be helpful to be open, to be financially naked and show everything I'm spending my money on, every penny of debt that I have, and to try and remove some of the embarrassment around it, some of the shame around that sort of thing, because there are other people like me who are struggling financially, and we don't talk about it. And not talking about it is part of the issue, because we end up digging ourselves in bigger holes. So yeah, this is what the blog's about. I'm in a bad financial position. I was last year when I started this blog, and I'm ashamed to say that over the last 8 months where I haven't been writing, obviously haven't been thinking about my money either, and my financial situation has got worse. Overall, I'm about £3,400 worse off than I was last September, and I'll be talking about that in this video. For specifics as to where that money is, there's a link below in the description to the written version of the blog. So the video will be posted on the written version as well. But if you want to see like the actual breakdown of my finances and where I've got debt and where I've got savings and things like that, feel free to click onto the article link below and read it. It's all there for you to see. So the last 8 months, I've got back into the dating world. That's expensive. So that's impacted my finances. I'm quite traditional in dating sense. I like to go on a first date for a dinner date. I go for an activity the second time, and probably my biggest sin is that I'm quite traditional in that I'll pay for those dates. And when you're getting back into dating in your 30s, you tend to go on a few different dates with a few different people to try and figure it out. You're not really thinking about money, but it does end up racking up, especially when you're already in a poor financial situation. On top of that, I've got a group of friends over the last few months that I didn't have before, which I'm being a lot more social with because they're local to me, and I've been hanging out with my family and spending a lot of time with them over the last few months as well. So everything costs something, and inevitably all of these events have racked up a bit of debt. I'm now trying to get back on it. First step is being back on this blog. This blog helped me last year because I focus on my money when I'm doing this blog, and not only that, I got a lot of engagement from you guys that are reading it, and that really helped me out because I got a lot of tips from you guys. I put some of them into the blogs, and being active with your finances is just the first step. It's what you have to do. So yeah, overall I'm £3,400 worse off. Most of that is in credit cards and overdraft debt. So what happened? Again, this is all written in the article. It might be a bit easier to read it rather than hear it, but here we go. What I was doing was I was racking up debt on my credit cards, my overdraft. They're at interest rates of 33, 34, and 39% respectively, 2 credit cards and an overdraft. And when they were getting to their maxes, I'd go, well, that's silly, I shouldn't do that. So I took out a loan. Lower interest rates, about 16%. I was like, well, that's a better way to handle that. But then my credit cards and overdraft were clear. So I was racking up debt on those, built it back up. I was like, well, this is stupid, the interest rates are high, so I got a 0% balance transfer for my credit cards. Didn't sort out the overdraft, but sorted out the credit cards at least. And then I had 3 credit cards again, they were clear. So I ended up racking it up for a third time. I have just, earlier this week, transferred all of my credit card debt to a new credit card, 0% transfer again. So at the moment my credit cards, the ones that have interest applied to them, are 0, which is great. But I do have £5,000 in credit card debt that I need to manage. On top of that, I have an extra loan which I've taken out in the last year, which is unfortunate, and I'm still in my overdraft. So financially, I'm in the hole massively. It's not good. But being aware of that over the last month, over the last 2-3 months, I've started to take action to try and correct it. And that's the point of this video, to try and show you what I'm doing to move forward and correct this issue. The first thing that I've done was I quit smoking. So those of you that were reading my blog last year, it was a constant battle that I was trying to quit. I quit smoking back in February. Obviously, as everyone does when they quit smoking, I've had some since. I think it's been about a month since my last cigarette, but I did move on to vapes. Vapes are cheaper and healthier, which is great, but they're still expensive. It's still a habit I shouldn't have, and my target now is to be off of vapes by the end of this month, end of May. So hopefully when I talk to you at the beginning of June on my next blog post, I'll be telling you how I'm saving X amount per week because I'm not buying vapes anymore. That's the aim of the game, that's the goal. So that's the first thing I've done. The second and the biggest thing, and I think this is sort of highlighted in the title of the video, title of the blog post, and on each of my blog posts I put a little quote at the top. So this is the point of that quote. The quote is supposedly by Jim Carrey. I don't know if that's true or not. I couldn't find a video where he said it. But it's that if you're embarrassed to live a worse lifestyle, paraphrasing here, a worse lifestyle for 1 year, so that you can live the lifestyle you want for the rest of your life, then you're too worried about what other people think. And I like that, because that's what embarrassment is. It's concern over what other people think. And I don't think we should be embarrassed by our finances. No matter your position, it should just be a logical thing that we talk about. It shouldn't have any emotion attached to it at all. And we should all be aiming to improve, whether we're in a good financial position or not. We should all still be aiming to improve, and everyone's got the same goal there. No one's looking for a worse financial position. And so we should be able to just talk openly about our finances and help each other to progress in the right direction. On top of that, I decided a few months ago that I would move out of my apartment. The bills on that were just way too expensive. For a single salary income, it was about £1,100 per month that I was spending on my apartment, and to be honest, I didn't spend a lot of time there. I'm really close to my sister, my cousin, my friend. They all live together and they're 15 minutes from me, and I spent most of my evenings and weekends with them. So the apartment didn't really serve much purpose anyway, and I'd lived with them before, so I asked them and they graciously said yes if I can move in with them. So that's what I've done. I've moved out of my apartment and I've moved into my sister's house so that I can save around £800 a month. And I think this is an important thing to talk about. Some people would be quite embarrassed by it, and I can understand why. The way it can be portrayed as embarrassing is I'm a 31-year-old man who lives on a blow-up bed in his little sister's living room in a house she owns, and my financial situation is so poor that I need to do this financially. And I can see why some people would be embarrassed by that, but I'm choosing not to be. I get to live with 3 people that I absolutely love, and I spend all my time with and I have a lot of fun with anyway, so the living situation itself is better. I enjoy that. But on top of that, I'm making a decision that's going to improve my finances, and the point is I'm going to get out of debt in the next year. I mean, if I'm saving an extra £700-800 a year, that's what, almost £10,000 a year I'm saving, which will clear most of my debt. It's almost a no-brainer, and on top of that I can start saving for my LISA and buy my own place, and it works better for them as well, so that I'm contributing to the rent and the bills. I pay a fair quarter, so everyone's just better off. And it was only by having these conversations with them that we realised it was almost stupid that I lived in my own place by myself. And I do want to get back to that sort of living situation. There is an element of pride in owning your own place. I didn't own that last place, but the next place I live, I will. And on top of that, it's an element of independence. Like, obviously, I'm in my 30s. I am, as I've said, dating, and I'm looking to get into a relationship and settle down. And you kind of need your own space for that. This living situation isn't ideal on that one aspect of my life. So yeah, I do want to get back to owning my own place, but I'm not going to be ashamed of what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. I need to improve my financial situation. I dug myself into this hole, and I'm in a very fortunate position where I have family that love me enough to allow me to move in and to help me with this. So that's the main thing I'm doing now. So for the next year, I'm going to live here with my sister, and I'm going to be saving an extra £800 a month. I'm going to chisel away at my debts. The debts that I mentioned to you before, the big one that I need to worry about, the first one that's coming off, is my overdraft. My overdraft has 39.9% interest on it, and I'm £2,000 deep. which means I'm currently paying £800 a year to live in that overdraft. For nothing, for just interest. It doesn't even pay off the balance. There's £800 wasted. So the first target, I'm not putting anything else into my LISA at the moment. Nothing else is going anywhere except clearing that overdraft. That's the first thing I have to do. After that, I'll focus on the credit card. The loans are, they're moving at their own pace. There's obviously a contract for that, and I pay that off every month. Yeah, I'm just going to start chiseling away and hopefully improve my financial position every month. I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about it this month. I'm sorry that I took 8 months off. I understand that there were people that avidly followed the blog. I used to have a lot of email conversations with people, as well as with my friends and my family. People talk to me face to face about it because they quite enjoy reading about it and seeing how I'm progressing, and it sort of motivates others, which I'm really happy with. I'm proud that this video and this blog does that. I'll be bringing it back monthly. I figured I get paid monthly, so I may as well blog monthly about my finances. And on my next blog, in the written section, I will be doing a deeper dive into what I actually spend my money on each month. So the overall review is sort of credit cards, overdrafts, loans, savings, what I owe to people and what people owe to me. They're broad categories. It doesn't tell you, hi, yeah, I spent £200 on pubs last month. I spent £120 on vapes, things like that. So I'm going to go into a deeper dive on that. Because that will help me figure out where I can cut down, and it might help you realise if you're spending on similar things that there might be excessive amounts in there. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Otherwise, as always, you guys can reach out to me and let me know if you've got any comments or questions. Please let me know what you think about this video format as well. I'm obviously a little uncomfortable here. It's the first time I've done this sort of thing, and it's about opening up and talking about something that can be quite embarrassing. So I'd love to have your feedback. I'd love to hear from you. So please, my email address is in the blog below. In the description below. You can comment on this video. You can comment on the blog post directly on my website, and I will reply to you. Yeah. Apart from that, that's everything I've got to say on my finances this month. I'm Richard Winstone, and I am financially fatter than I was last time I posted. Thanks for watching.